So Johanne is maybe slightly different than any other testimonials that we had earlier, but I can relate to Johanne so much because we have very similar story in terms of being in high-end corporate employment and feeling like the energy was sucked out of us, and then finally creating our purpose. So Johanne, let's hear a little bit, maybe for those that are watching who don't know who you are, just share a little bit where you are from, what do you do, just a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so my name is Johanne O'Halloran. I live in Laois in Ireland. I'm a single parent to a daughter who's going to turn 20 tomorrow. She's going to be 20. I'm not over it.
I know. I hope you're celebrating big.
Oh, we are. Oh, we absolutely are. Yeah, for sure. Not doing any work tomorrow. But yeah, so I worked in HR for the last 17 years, worked my way up the corporate ladder, did everything I thought I should be doing, got, the great pensionable job, all the benefits, company car, the whole shebang. I was miserable, but I didn't know I was miserable. I was doing what I thought I should be doing. And at the start of this year, I actually came out of a long-term relationship. We were after having 2 miscarriages and I just felt stuck and lost. And I started looking for signs and different ways to go about figuring out what I wanted to do or what life should be like. And true to form, when you start looking for signs, everything starts to come together. So
Eva comes to you.
Yeah, Eva comes. I had actually gone to counselling to try and figure out what was going on with me, and she actually fired me after my first session because she said there was nothing wrong with me. So I was like, okay, what do I do now? So I happened to go for energy healing, and she gave me a copy of The Secret. And Bob Proctor was in The Secret, and I was like, oh, do you know what? That man is amazing. I'd love to be able to meet him. And literally that night, up popped a Facebook ad from Eva for an event. Didn't know who Eva was, but I saw a picture of Bob Proctor. I was like, I'm going. It's a sign, I'm going. So literally rocked up. Again, myself and Eva were actually wearing the exact same colour that day. I bumped into her in the bathroom.
Love it.
Bumped into her in the bathroom. And I was like, yes, I already know this is the lady that's going to help me. I didn't know what Eva did. Couldn't have told you. Eva stood up on the stage and literally you started talking about how you were so unhappy, doing what you're doing and being unhappy in your job. And it was like you verbalized what I was feeling, but had no idea how to put it into words. So I knew there and then you were the lady that was going to fix me. I didn't know what that looked like, had no idea, but I knew you were the person for me. So literally roll on. What are we now, 9 months later?
Yeah.
So still working in HR, but part-time, have a coaching business that is growing, which I love because I'm about to launch my first international interview series with some phenomenal people. I'm now having a conversation with millionaires and they would have scared me before. And it's specifically for mums as well. So like it's totally relatable. And yeah, it's just like, who am I? I'm not the same person at all. I was really shy as well. And I would have been quite angry and snappy, and I'm a totally different person now. So much so my daughter sends me messages going, I much prefer who you are now. I much prefer the way you think. Yeah, it's totally changed. It's not even just like business life, it's my personal life has totally changed too.
I love it. So Johanne, tell us a little bit about, and did you say you set up a side business on top of that?
I did, sorry. Yeah, because that just flows on its own. I totally forgot about that. So yeah, so I actually do some network marketing as well around beauty products, but that kind of goes on its own. I don't even need to worry about that. So yeah, so sorry, I have 3 streams of income. I'd forgotten, Eva.
I love it. I'm tempted to ask you, when are you going to go full time into your dream business? But
I can answer that. I've already decided it's March because I have 2 interview series coming up in January. It's a done deal. It's on my goal card. Everything has moved towards my goal on my goal card, and I literally have 2 vision boards, one with what I want to achieve and then I've one to show what I've already achieved, so that anytime I ever go I can see that I've already manifested and done a huge amount.
I love it. Some people call it gratitude board. I love that concept. Love it. So tell us, actually, we've had a lot of questions because we know about sales and marketing skills, kind of picking your ideal client avatar and niching out. And a lot of our testimonials were quite similar. Women in business already, multiplying their income, creating more work-life balance. But you're very unique in that you were actually in corporate world when you started, the same how I started. A lot of people watching are asking us, I don't have a business yet. I might have a job that I'm not quite happy with, but I don't even know what I want in life. How would you say you benefited from thinking into results because you kind of were in that situation? And yeah.
Totally. I had no idea what I wanted to do. I knew there's parts of HR I liked, but I knew that wasn't for me for the long term. But if you asked me what did I want to do, I couldn't tell you. I had no notion. And I did the extended self-image module to begin with. But that for me was massively game changing because it brought out the confidence in me. It brought out, I allowed myself to go, this is actually what I want. And within 6 weeks, I'd very easily and clearly identified coaching as what I wanted to do. But it was from the steps that you had given, Eva, that I was actually able to do it. I honestly didn't have a notion what I wanted to do. Like, particularly because I'll be honest, I would have been terrified to sell. Doing a live, nope. Doing video, nope. There was no pictures of me on Facebook. Even my daughter taking selfies of us was like, don't put that up. I don't want to see myself up there. So like the whole thing had massively changed because starting a business wasn't really what was scary. It was the bits that went with it. So you having to put yourself out there, having to be visible. It wasn't even an investment, like your point of view from money, because I always believe that when you invest, you get back. But it was about being visible and being judged, if I'm being honest. But yeah, but within the first 6 weeks, I went from not having a clue what I wanted to do to knowing exactly what I was going to do, to register in the business, and went gung ho from there and haven't stopped since.
Oh my God. And I can't believe we were color coordinated at the event. I love that.
It's a sign, Eva. This is what we do. It's a sign. We always color coordinate.
I love it. So you mentioned something very important. Frequently, when we don't know what we want to do, and I had the same challenge, the barrier is actually self-image. And you were a successful lady, but you actually went through a series of emotional impacts. Every miscarriage was an emotional impact. The split up with your partner was an emotional impact, and maybe there have been even more. Can you share what has changed for you? Like, tell us a little bit about your confidence before thinking into results and right after doing the self-image extended module. What has changed for you?
Oh, this is an easy one. So in the HR business that I'm in, we would have to go and meet with prospective clients. I would avoid it like the plague. Like, I mean, we didn't even want to pick up the phone, sending an email for the fear that they'd ring me, going out to meet people that I didn't know. I had this thing where I'd put like directors or like what I would deem really successful people into a particular box, and they scared me. Like, I was like, who am I to go and speak to them? Which is crazy because we're all just people. But like going to do a presentation, I still remember in my previous job being like backing myself into a corner because I was so terrified. I needed some sort of protection around me to be able to get up and speak, and literally backing myself up against a wall to where I couldn't go any further was it. Like, my voice would tremble, my stomach would go into absolute knots. I'd have, like, you know, the funny tummy. I would get that. That's all gone now. Like, literally, that's all gone. It doesn't bother me to do anything. Like, if this was live, like if we were in front of a live audience, would I be nervous? Yes. But would I still do it? Yes. Would my voice tremble? I don't think it would, because you've given me techniques to do. Visualization has now become, it's part of what I do. Like, I will never hop onto a Zoom call or go live or pick up the phone without actually grounding myself and then do my visualization, because I know how it's going to go. I trust myself. But the one thing I think I've learned most out of this is to surrender to the process. If you fight it, and I mean, I did for the first while, if you fight it, things don't work. You need to have the right attitude to do this and know that it's going to work, know that it's going to happen, because you're no different to anybody else. I'm no different to anyone else. But I get that now. I didn't 9 months ago.
I love it. You've just nailed a lot of concerns that a lot of our audience has. I hope it will help them. So there's a lot of scared people right now. You know, we've been running masterclass for past week, and even some of them yesterday said they want to do it, and now they're allowing the paradigm to jump on top of them. I want to pick your brains a little bit about decision making. Like, what was it like for you to make this decision? Did you have any paradigms popping and telling you all sorts of things in your head? And if you did, like, how did you get on the other side?
So I've learned over the last while as well, there's certain decisions that I would have been always very good at making. And when I make a decision, I never change my mind. I always thought that was stubbornness till I met Eva and realized, actually, no, that's a committed decision. That's a good thing that you should be doing that. For me, joining up to you, no, it was a no-brainer because I went with my intuition. It was like, I never told you this, Eva, but I only remember this the other day. I found the sheet of paper from the hotel when I wrote down everything. Do you know what was written at the very top of it? I want to do what Eva does. I must send you a picture of it. I totally forgot about it. But like I had made that decision that day, so it didn't actually matter. I was afraid you were going to turn me down when we had our phone call. It wasn't the other way around. However, what I have learned over the last while is that while that decision was easy, my emotions have come up at different stages. Like when I'm now doing this interview series, the first couple of people I interviewed, I was terrified because again, it was new, it was outside of my comfort zone. What I've learned is you're gonna feel the emotions, but you have a choice. You can feel the emotions and stop, or you can feel the emotions and do it anyway. Like if you don't actually take action, nothing changes. It was 8 years before I actually did anything. Like 8 years. So at 32, I'm 40 now. At 32, I could have had my business, been successful, but I got in my own way because I didn't want to ask for help. I didn't want to reach out to somebody who had done it and go, can you help me? I thought I knew better. I thought, sure, I could figure it out myself, and I couldn't.
I love how humble you are, and I think that's what it takes, because all the really successful people that I know, they can realize it doesn't matter where I'm at in life, it doesn't matter how much I earn, I'm confident, but I never have it all. Like I've never got it. Like it's like I'm learning, I'm a forever student. And even Bob Proctor, a multimillionaire helping multimillionaires all over the world, he's so humble. So I love that attitude, and I think this is the way we should be, all of us, right? Never think that, oh, you figured it out, like if someone has better results than you do and you're struggling in that area, then obviously they know something that you don't, right? And you just surrender to the process. I love that. And can you share a little bit about the value of having a mentor? And especially coming from the mindset, I can figure out things myself, and then suddenly hiring a mentor, what does it mean for you? How did it help you in actually becoming who you are right now?
Yeah, so actually there's a few different elements to this. It's not just a one thing. Because I had been so stuck in thinking that I could do it myself, I would always be very good, like a good learner and a good follower, but I'd still do it my way. No matter what, I'd revert back and do it my way.
I'm also stubborn, by the way.
We're synced. But having you there meant that because I knew that about myself, I could ask you questions. And I still remember the first time fear came up for me, I was petrified. And I remember like before, I would have just left it alone and run away. That's exactly what I would have done. I would have listened to every reason that my brain gave me to not do something, as in, there's an easier way to do this. Why would you want to do that? Sure, no, just stick with your job. Like there's always lots of reasons your brain will give you to not do this when something is scary. But because I had Eva there, it was literally a case of, Eva, please help. I'm actually petrified. And it's funny because in our mastermind group, I had actually recorded what had happened. I video recorded it so you could actually see where I went from being super excited about what happened to being downright terrified to wanting to walk away. But because I had you there, I didn't. You could literally instantly, you calmed me down. And it meant then that I could actually take the steps that I needed, but I could learn from it. I wasn't sticking with the emotions that had come up from it. I learned from it and knew that it was going to happen again, but now I knew what to do. I could prepare myself for it, and then I could walk through the other side. But aside from that, it's accountability, because if something hasn't worked for you up till now, there's a reason why it hasn't worked. When we're pushing ourselves outside of our comfort zone, we can't do it ourselves. Like I personally don't think it doesn't matter how productive you are, how passionate you are, you're going to come up with emotions, and you need the mentor there to be able to get you through it. But the one thing I love about this whole program is the fact that there's the program, there's the mastermind, there's your accountability partner. So I'm sorry, but if you're going to fail at this, it's because you're getting in your own way. Like there's nothing that's there that can stop you from doing this. Like it's up to you. You can follow the process, you can do exactly what you're told, and ask the questions. Like if you sit there and don't ask the questions, the only person you're letting down is yourself, because you're not surrendering to what you need to do to get to where you want to be.
I love that. I always say that it's a partnership. Mentorship is not, it's not like counseling. It's not like I'm going to be with you for the rest of your life. I'm here to give you the tools, empower you to use them, and then you become self-sufficient. And that's the beauty of it, right? So we both have responsibility. I have responsibility to you to guide, but you have the responsibility to do the work. And if you're stuck, you ask questions, and you also participate in accountability. Actually, having said this, I don't think we've covered that before. Can you share a little bit about the value of having accountability partner and mastermind group? Tell us
Actually, it's funny because my accountability partner has become one of my really, really good friends. And from a business point of view, a confidant, it's fantastic to have pure chance that happened. I found it incredibly good because a business was new for me and there was new steps I had to take. Like I was stopping myself doing silly things like setting up my Facebook group, not like not making sales calls or not putting up landing pages, like really simple stuff or setting up a bank account actually was another one that I didn't do for ages. But because I had her there, I would literally say to her, this is what I need to do today. This is the time I'm going to do it by, because if I left it for a day, it would be midnight, 11:59 at night, and then I might consider doing it. And then if a bank's closed, what do you do? Oh, look, you can't do it. So because I had her there and I had a time set, she was like a dog with a bone with me, but I needed that. That was what we had agreed, me and her, is that would be how we would do it. And that there's certain things that we wanted to achieve every week. So because of that, everything started to move pretty quickly, which was absolutely fantastic. So, but it has to go both ways. It can't be just that you take from your accountability partner. You have to be able to give too, and it needs to go both ways. And it's important that you do mesh with them, I think. From a mastermind point of view, Evan knows I'm obsessed with Mastermind. It is my most favorite thing in the world. I actually cannot get over the value of it. So Mastermind is basically a group of like-minded people that are coming together and you're helping each other to grow. So you're going through your wins and your wants every week. But when you get to your wants, there's going to be some things that you don't know how to do, or maybe somebody else has experience that you don't have. And by sharing it in your mastermind group, everybody's learning, everybody's growing, and you build each other up. Like it's fantastic to come onto a mastermind call, like we do ours on a Tuesday, to come on a Tuesday. And I can't wait to hear what everybody has done for the week. And you get so excited for them, especially if somebody's after breaking through a barrier that they've had for a while. Like the camaraderie in the group is absolutely fantastic. I love it. It's my favorite thing.
I'm going to ask you a tricky question. We offer masterminding for life if you're committed. And so just for everybody to know, so if you're a coach, so Johanne is a coach and she is in a coaching mastermind for coaches, right? If you have different goal in different industry, you might be in network marketing mastermind or e-commerce mastermind or soulmate mastermind, whatever. So we are actually offering masterminding possibility to participate in masterminding for life, not for the duration of the course, but for life. What value would you put on that, monetary value?
You can't. I'm sorry, but you cannot, because you're constantly getting and giving in it. And like, if I look at the group that we're in at the moment, we've got some really experienced coaches and some less experienced coaches. However, everybody's background is so different, because some people have been in a corporate world, some people have run businesses have failed, or they're struggling at the moment. So you're learning, you're growing together, you're learning. That's invaluable. Like, where else would you get that? Because if you were to go and try and find people that are like-minded like you, want to be able to succeed, have the right attitude, like that'd cost you a fortune to be able to go and find that. So to have it, I'm its biggest champion. I'll tell you that now. And any of them in the program know that I'm its biggest champion. I just think it's so invaluable to constantly be able to grow and learn from the people around you. I just think there's nothing like it, especially when you're in the same niche.
I love it. And now you even are leading a mastermind. What is that like for you?
I love it. I love it. It's like we're like a little family. So much fun. I feel really proud though, because I love it so much, but as well as that, like to have gone from participating in a mastermind to leading it, basically all you're doing is really coordinating everybody. It's not that it's anything different, but I love it. I you know what? I don't know what else to say other than I just think it's fantastic.
I love it. All right. So look, so we have a lot of people that today are facing fear.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say to help them? Because like they are like right now it's a fork on the road and it's just before Christmas and it's like they've been giving to everybody else and they might be holding themselves back right now from giving to themselves. And it's only paradigm that holds them back, because so many of them, I mean, even yesterday we had a private info session, and so many of them, yeah, I want it. They were in their intuition, and today they're fighting paradigm. And a lot of them are backing off from this life-changing opportunity. What would you say to them in terms of empowering them around fear? How to do it?
Yeah, what I would say is money loves speed. So if you have that instinct, like around a decision or a thought comes to your mind, act on it straight away, because your brain will always give you so many reasons as to why something isn't right. So I don't have the time, I don't have the money, it's going to affect the kids. What if this doesn't work? It didn't work for so-and-so. Why would it work for me? You're going to get all that. What I will say to you is, I'm a single parent. When I joined TIR, I'd obviously just come out of a relationship. I have a mortgage to pay on my own. He wasn't involved in the mortgage. My hours have been cut to 15 hours a week in work. I made the decision. I committed to it. I did not have the $6,000 lying around. I happened to get a tax refund that I didn't even know was coming, but I didn't care because I knew something had to change in my life. I hadn't been successful in doing it so far, so I made the investment. You're always going to come up with reasons, and like, give a choice. Do you look for all the reasons why you can't, or do you go with the reasons why you can? Because the attitude that you have will determine what happens to you in life. So if you keep going with all the reasons why you can't, you're never going to succeed. If you follow through with the reasons why you can, watch out. The world is yours.
And you know what? I think you've just gifted everybody a gift. If that doesn't stir something inside of you, I don't know what else will. But look, guys, I'm just going to share. If you do resonate with Johanne and what Johanne is saying, look, we could show you hundreds of examples of Johanne. And what Johanne said was so powerful. If you follow the program, if you surrender yourself to the system, it's not just program. You have Thinking into Results program for life. You have me for 9 months. You have your accountability partner. You have your mastermind. I mean, freaking heck, there's no way for you to fail unless, no matter how much we help you, you don't do the work. That's the only way you would fail. So if you came to this masterclass and you had a nudge, this can help me, and now you're backing off, you're actually deciding to settle. And one of my biggest fears was to watch myself, to consider myself at the age of 60 or 65 and never have the life that I wanted. That is settling, and 97% of people are doing this. You might be doing it right now. So really, I hope this recording is going to wake you up, because you can have the life you want. And if you felt it inside of that quiet voice within that we can help you, and you backed off for whatever reason, there's no good reason. There's no such reason as I don't have the money. There's no such reason I don't have the time. There's no such reason as my spouse doesn't agree. If you backed off, you actually decided to be in the same spot next year, next 5 years, next 10 years. Things do not change until you make a committed decision. So we hope that this inspires you. Today is actually the final day to decide and to receive the special offer. And I hope that you will click this button and join us, because you came here for a reason. And if you're watching this testimonial, then it's 100% obvious for me that your intuition is saying yes. But you might be blocking yourself. And if you're blocking yourself right now, if you're letting circumstances stop you, I guarantee this to you, you do that to yourself every day. You have the potential to have your goals right now, but you're listening to your paradigms rather than what you want, and your intuition, your internal compass, which every single one of you has, and you're not following through. So I think it's the time today to make a breakthrough and make 2021 the best year of your life. What would you say, Johanne? How do you think when you look back on the day when you made that decision? Mm-hmm. What does it mean to you right now?
Oh, best decision I ever made. Like, I text Eva after I'd handed over the money, because like the fear kicked in then, and I was like, but I knew that was going to happen. But it was the best decision I've ever made. Somebody once said to me, actually it was only, I'd say probably a couple of months ago, when is now going to be the time that you make yourself a priority? Is it now or is it never? Because never and tomorrow never comes. So it has to be now.
Yeah. We've had several people saying, I'll do it another time. And the truth is, another time never comes. In fact, Bob Proctor has a special training on decision making. And he says, whenever your mind says to you all the reasons why not to do it now, It's simply paradigm giving you excuses why not to have what you want. And the truth is, you have no guarantee what's going to happen to you tomorrow. And I guarantee this to you, if you have excuses right now, why not to do it right now? A year from now, you're going to have different excuses or the same ones, because paradigms don't shut up. Like literally, they just keep on and on why you should make the best life-changing decision. So I hope this inspires you guys. Make sure that you make this decision today. Do not walk away from this masterclass, because right now you're making a decision what 2021 has in store for you. It's either going to be making complete change, discovering your life purpose, making it reality, maybe multiplying your income, earning that 10K plus months with work-life balance, or you're going to have a Groundhog Day. You're making that decision. Don't treat it lightly. Make the right decision. So Johanne, thank you so much for being here and supporting everybody here. I'm sure there will be some other ladies dressed in blue today that will change their life.
Our color, for sure.
That's right, or blue or green or whatever. Just make a decision, guys. Seriously, Johanne is just another proof that it's worth it. And you can be a single mom, and you can be, your working hours can be cut out. And if you feel that it's right for you, you still make a decision, and look what's happening. Then you might be Johanne in the next 6 months if you just follow. So thank you so much. Have a great Sunday. My goodness, it's Sunday before Christmas, and Johanne is here. And thank you for inspiring everybody here. Thank you, Johanne.
Thank you. Thank you.